Hello everyone, TechSpeeder here with another video. Today I will be showing you the latest Windows 10 Insider build number 15002. And wow, this build is a doozy. It is huge. It has come with tons and tons of feature updates, setting changes, and yeah, tons of things. So let's just get right into this. So let's start with the Microsoft Edge updates. Happy to see some improvements here. So let's just go ahead and open up Microsoft Edge, and a couple things here. I'm running a VM, so let me just pull this down a bit. Now you have the ability to see tab preview on all your open tabs. So you can just click this down arrow and see all your open tabs that you have open. Definitely a neat little feature, and I think it's a good idea. Something that Chrome doesn't have. I don't know if I'd necessarily switch from Chrome, but it's another reason to use Microsoft Edge. You also now have the ability to dock tabs. For example, I work in IT, and so different times I'm troubleshooting a project and I get 10 tabs open about this certain project, and it's like, well, I start a new project or just want to clear my brain, I could dock these tabs and pick that up at a later date. So then whenever you want to come back and pick up those tabs, you can click here, and here's some tabs I have before, so I can just hit restore tabs, and I'm back troubleshooting my problem, whatever it was. So another neat little feature that you can dock tabs and then just grab them again. Another thing that really annoyed me with Microsoft Edge was the inability to click new window. When you right clicked the Microsoft Edge icon on the taskbar, you only had these three bottom options before, but now you have the option for new window or new in private window, which both those options are great. And I happen to do a lot of browsing in private because I work with a lot of different customers' accounts, and that way when I'm working on different accounts, you're not crossing credentials or accidentally logging into someone's account. So I love the browsing in private mode like that, and also I like the new window option, just to be able to click that and boom, you got a new window open. So a couple other Edge improvements: they are blocking Adobe Flash by default, which is awesome. Flash tends to have lots of security loopholes and bugs, so that can't happen fast enough. And they're also bringing web payments to Edge. I don't believe this is fully functional yet, but they are testing it to bring a smoother buying experience to Edge. Yeah, it'll be great to see what they bring there once that's totally up and running. Okay, so let's go into the next. There has been a lot of setting changes. So let's just go here into the settings. Okay, so let's go into the settings. Either click the settings here or Windows key I will also do that. And first off, we see they've made some changes to the display options. Now I'm running a VM, virtual machine, so I cannot change some of these resolution, orientation settings when I'm connected like this. But before, in older builds, 1511, 1607, even previous Insider builds, you could not change the resolution of your screen without clicking advanced and then selecting it, which was kind of stupid because a lot of times people go under the display settings to change those sort of things. So that's there now. But the big setting that everyone's talking about is this blue light setting. This blue light setting is supposed to help with eye fatigue, eye strain that you may encounter while you're looking at your screen. It's supposed to be healthier that at later hours of the night, like a lot of us, we end up using computers or phones or whatever, and all that blue light, supposedly scientists say that keep you up or you have a harder time relaxing. So in these blue light settings, you can change your screen to turn to a more yellow or warmer color to help you sleep easier at night. So here's your blue light settings, and I think it's a very good idea to include that in Windows. It's very similar to Flux, however you want to say that, pronounce that, but definitely a good idea. Back out of here real quick. The other thing you'll notice, we have 10 categories. So we now have an apps category that's split out that says your apps and features, default apps, offline maps, and apps for websites. And I think this is a welcome addition just because A lot of times when I'm digging into settings, I'm changing the default apps from, say, the Mail app to Outlook, or yes, changing Edge to Chrome. Some of you may not like to hear that, but that does happen, and things like that. So nice to see that improvement. Let me see, what else do we got here. There's a bunch of different icon support. They're bringing in different devices such as your Wi-Fi, or maybe you have an external monitor, have more updated icons. Tons of little features like that. I probably won't go into those a lot, but I will link to the Microsoft release notes and you can check those out for yourselves. Another little enhancement is the share feature in this build of Windows. No longer does the Win key H work, which was the old share menu with previous versions of Windows, but to me, I never really used that, so it's not a big deal. That is going away in favor of a different share method. And let's say we wanted to share a picture to somebody. Of course, you click up here on the share here, or if you want to click share. So when you click share, it'll ask you what you want to share with. You get a new dialog box, whether you want to copy the file, whether you want to share it via your Mail app. Biggest change that everyone's going to be talking about is the suggested apps to install. So right now you can see that it's suggesting to me that I should install Facebook or Messenger to share this photo with. And some people may be like, oh, this is crazy. Microsoft is once again forcing advertising on us. And I can see their side of the argument as well, but hey, that's here, and I haven't checked if I can turn that off, but I'm assuming somehow that feature probably could get turned off. But you have a new share functionality and feature in Windows 10. Also, in all these settings, you have a need a hand where you can contact support, give feedback on settings, whatever you want to do. So say we hit contact support, it's going to bring up the Get Help app. If you want to give us feedback, it's going to bring up the Windows Feedback Hub, of course. So hey, nice little additions. Might as well. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but if I do want to, it's right there, easy, and I don't need to open those apps. So it's a welcome improvement. Okay, so Windows updates, another huge revision to all this. So as you probably very well know, a lot of people get very tired of all the updating during working hours, updating and taking a lot of time to install updates. And Microsoft is really trying to improve the experience with Windows updates, which is awesome. So let's just take a look at some of the changes they brought to Windows updates. So first off, you'll see there's a different icon. You kind of have a little check mark there, green check mark. You're good to go. All your updates are installed. But that's not really what I came here to show you. What I came here to show you was a couple settings under advanced options. So biggest and foremost you're going to see down here, and it's going to be talked about everywhere, is the pause updates feature. Now this is awesome. So for businesses, or maybe you have scheduled maintenance for your network that you don't want updates installed during Monday through Friday or different things like that, you could just pause the updates, and then on the weekends you could download them. But you can pause these updates up to 35 days. Now bear in mind, this does not come to the home edition of Windows 10. So you've got to be running the professional, education, or enterprise SKUs to have this setting. Another option you have is whether you want to have driver updates. So this box you can either check or uncheck up here, whether you want to include driver updates. Again, I love the flexibility, but sadly this is not coming to Windows 10 Home either. So again, you need either the professional, education, or enterprise SKUs. And they're also making some improvements to when they install updates, trying to better detect by your display whether you're actively using it, doing a PowerPoint presentation. It'll kind of check how you're using your computer, so it's not telling you you need to restart or installing updates in the background. So they're trying to make some improvements there. Now, Microsoft didn't let the home users totally out in the dark with this update. They did give you one option that you have here, and might as well take what they give you. So in this build, I'm sure you're already familiar with the active hours, which came in 1607. Now they are allowing you to set active hours up to 18 hours from your start time. So now you're not confined to, I forget what the other window was. It's basically 8 to 5. So what was that? 10 to 12 hour window, something like that. So now you can postpone updates for 18 hours, which is awesome. Okay, in passing here, a couple other things I'm just going to breeze right over. You're getting improved high resolution, high DPI support for desktop apps again, smoother window resizing, improved cross-device experiences, Windows theme and management, and the ability to pick recent callers for your taskbar, as well as better narrator and improvements to Windows 10 and Braille support. And they also are giving us some updates to Hyper-V, which I will love to check out after a while, but I haven't got a chance to check those out. And for the general homeowner or user, you're not going to really use that, but I'm glad to see they're bringing in some more enterprise features. Okay, so next one up, and this one's probably the most underrated one, and you're probably not going to see it, but this was bugging me like crazy. It is the VPN in Windows 10. They have finally listened to us about how nasty the interface was for the Windows 10 VPN. It was absolutely terrible. So if you think back to Windows 7 and actually Windows 8, Windows 8 was a little tougher, but Windows 7 especially, they had a beautiful connection button for the Windows 7 VPNs. You clicked the network and connect. It was all you did. But with Windows 10, what you did was your network was located here. It clicked here, and then it would open up to the network settings. See if I can get this to work in this build. Okay, let's just show you here. So it would open up to network settings, your VPN. You click it, and then finally hit connect. And it was like 3 or 4 clicks, and it was a pain. I've tried different workarounds, trying to make it easier for customers, and finally it's just like, well, we're gonna have to wait till Microsoft fixes it. We're just gonna have to wait till Microsoft changes it. So happy to see that they made this change. I'm not sure why they took it away from us in the first place, but when you click on it, you now have the connect button, and it automatically tries to connect without taking you to the settings app. Definitely awesome. And as you can see right now, it's a little bit it's not quite displaying properly, but I'm sure that'll be fixed by the time till the April release date. And another one, probably somewhat underrated, but also very crucial and very good for businesses, is the metered Ethernet connection support. So back before in builds, ever since Windows 10 was released and clear up to 1607, you could set a metered connection for, of course, a WAN card like Verizon or a AT&T connection or a wireless connection, but you could not set it for an Ethernet or LAN connection. And it's very annoying because we had different customers that, yes, let's face it, they only have a 3 meg internet connection, and so it was very annoying if Windows is trying to download updates, using up their bandwidth during the day, things like that. So you can set your Ethernet connection to a metered connection, and basically what a metered connection does, for those who don't know, is the ability to, let me just click here, I'll show you where the little toggle is. Basically, if I turn that on, it limits the data. Basically, some apps maybe will act different. For example, Outlook, when you open it up, it says, are you sure you want to connect, because this will use your data. Windows updates won't download as much. I'm not sure on the Ethernet side of things if they'll totally not download, but it definitely affects your bandwidth that you use. I'm sure your Windows Store apps won't update, things like that. So definitely a welcome improvement there. Glad to see that setting came, and I'll be using that for different customers. Okay, so another improvement is Windows Defender, and I've talked about that in the last build, but now it's becoming functional. So if we open up the Windows Defender app, and we'll just hit OK on this, we can actually start to use it. So once again, we have our options here: virus and threat protection, device and performance, firewall and network protection, and family options. And if we click the virus and threat protection, you can start quick scans from here now and manage some of the settings. But I won't go into that much. That's pretty self-explanatory. The device performance and health is actually new, if I remember correctly from the last build. Especially I know this option, the refresh windows. Now, of course, the refresh windows has been in Windows with Windows 10, and I believe they had something like this in Windows 8. But basically, this is to start fresh by reinstalling and updating your app. So, hey, you don't really want to do this unless you really know what you're doing. But I can see some people, I should say wiping out your operating system, but I can see a lot of people removing apps and programs without really meaning to, but that option is there, and hey, why not? So, of course, you have your firewall and network protection, nothing different much there, but that's there. And you also have your family options here. I won't go into that as much as well, but the Defender app is starting to become more full-fledged, and I believe when this Creators Update debuts in April, you're going to be using an interface like this. So, kind of nice to see. I personally think it's a nice clean interface, and it seems to work well. Okay, well, that is a lot of updates in a very short amount of time. Of course, you can always go to the Microsoft site, to any number of sites, to be honest. There are so many sites covering this and that have covered it in more detail. I don't want to bore you on all the small little bug fixes. There's many bugs also introduced into this build, but anyway, you can always find those online. And not to forget, there's one more that I've got to show you, and as famous as the blue screen is, it is now changed to a green screen with this Windows Insider build. Microsoft is wanting to know these blue screens they get feedback from was this person running a Insider build, or was this person running a regular Windows operating system without Insider builds? For example, just regular 1607, for example. So what Microsoft decided to do is, why not change the blue screen to a green screen? That'll easily tell. We can easily tell whether or not this is a legit blue screen, or if this is an issue with a production version of Windows 10, for example, anniversary update. So yeah, that's a very welcome improvement. I think it's a good idea. Green screens and blue screens now. So without further ado, let's see if we can't make a green screen. Boom. There is our green screen. So now you know what a green screen looks like. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and leaving a thumbs up below. And also, if you have more ideas for videos like this, what you want me to cover in upcoming Windows Insider builds, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.